afternoon, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to the market close. And boy, what another week. I'll tell you, there's never a dull moment. Never a dull moment in January this year, that's for sure. We got lots to talk about. We got a market to look at. We got a green market, at least in Canada. In Canada, we got a green market. The United States, it's red. It's a little red. It's a little red. We're going to look at that all here in a moment. Of course, today, I will point out, if you guys want a stream on Friday, for supers, you got it. I will point out the bomb. So the bomb is currently sitting at 15 out of 25. So the month is coming to an end. This may be the last stream, maybe Friday, depending on how this goes. So yeah, we're still about 10 shy from me having a teaspoon of the bomb on the air. So I think I may have dodged the bullet another month. I think I might have, but too soon to say. Too soon to say. We'll see how this all goes. Yeah. All right. While we're while I was just reminiscing about what that experience might feel like, let's hit the markets. Let's take a look and see what we have going. All right. So the TSX.
The NASDAQ 100 has rallied quite nicely in the early hours as it looks like...
Alexa, stop. All right. Alexa wanted to get in on the market action. Nothing wrong with that. But in the meantime, let's me get in on the market action. We got a green market in Canada. The TSX right now up only 0.19%. That's not a lot. But if you guys look at the blue line, we are well above that blue line. So it's looking like January is going to finish in the green for the month. Mind you, we could fall below it. We still got a couple of trading days after today, but I'm going to call January green. I'm pretty confident we're not going to plunge that far down between the next couple of days. So February, that could be another story altogether. All right, the S&P 500 is in the red today. Now they're still in a green month. They're above the blue line, but yeah, it wouldn't take much for them to drop below that blue line. So too early to call on the S&P 500, but red day today. NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is having a green, they were having a red day up until quite literally about 5 minutes ago. They sneaked back up above, and now they're starting to move back into the green. They are also pretty close to that blue line. So it could go either way. And the Dow Jones in the red, 0.27 down, but they're nice and far above the blue line. I think the Dow Jones is probably safe. I think they will have a green January for sure. All right. Gold is down today in the red, down 0.27, while silver's up 1.09. So that's pretty cool. WTI is down. Now, Bitcoin is up. They're up 2.86%. Ethereum doing the same thing. We'll look at those guys in a moment when we go to the heat maps. Let's start with the Canadian heat map and see what's going on here. I'm seeing here Rogers having a good day, up 3.82%. We also have who is this? Oh, Metro. Metro is up. So yeah, we got a few. It looks mostly muted though. It looks like things are pretty, they're not really big either way, but what can we say? TD up a little bit for those of you who are hoping to get back in the green on the TD. I still think it might be, depending on when you get in, it could be a long road. Looking at the US, oh boy, you can definitely see some strong red. Look at this. Nvidia down 5.26%. Tesla down 2.42%. Microsoft's down just a wee bit. Netflix is just up a tiny bit, but yeah, not looking super strong on the US market. Let's take a look at crypto. Crypto, another story altogether. Nice and green. I haven't seen this. Last time I seen this much green, I needed a lawnmower. But yeah, there's a lot of green for sure. Now, there's about 15,000 crypto coins out there. Most of them, I like to call them the crap coin crew. So let's, if we're having a green market, let's take a look and see if we can find some crappy coin I've never heard of. All right, we'll grab this one here. Circuits of value. I think we've actually looked at this one before, but circuits of value. Once again, when you're looking at some of these little coins, I call them crap coins. Some of them might be fine. Some of them may actually eventually, graduate. It's hard to say, but for the most part, they're like penny stocks. You're not going to get, you're not going to get anywhere with these. So I usually say, I'll be cautious with them. Be cautious. In this case here, this one here is worth a tenth of a penny. It's worth a tenth of a penny. It's not having a strong day. Looked like it tried to have a little heartbeat here, but yeah, it's flatlined. It's flatlined. Guys, stick to the good ones. Stick to your good coins. Stick to your Bitcoins, your Ethereums, your Solana, even your Dogecoin, Cardano. There's a lot of good coins. So stick to those, and you guys will be a lot safer, a lot more safer, I guess, not safe per se. All right. Let's pull up the big screen one more time here, and let's see who is in the chat. Holy banana bread. We got Vic in with first. Constellation Software to 5,000. Where are they doing right now, Vic? Let's take a look. CSU. I probably should actually share the screen if I'm going to show you. Yeah, look at this. They're having a pretty good day. 47.37. Pull up their 1 year chart. Oh, yeah, look at this. They got another run. Vic, you might see your 5,000. Hard to say though. But maybe. All right. Ferris is in the house. Ferris says hi. Andy is in here. Hello, how is it going? It's going great. How is it going with you? Ferris says, U.S. Fed meeting concluded. No rate cut. Yes, exactly. So the U.S. has paused. And we knew that there was a tiny percent chance that they would have another cut. And that pause is pretty much what was expected. Now, this is going to be the thing. This pause is going to annoy the Trump. So Donald was telling them he wants rate cuts. He wants them rates to come way down, but the Fed's like, nope, we're not. We run this. You don't run this. We run it. So, yeah, they did not cut the rate. Unlike the Bank of Canada. The Bank of Canada today did cut our interest rate down to 3%. So so basically a 25 basis point cut. Pretty much what everyone was expecting. The next one will be very interesting, especially if we're all of a sudden in the middle of a trade war. And oh boy, we got a lot to talk about with that trade war, that's for sure. So we'll all pipe up on that once we're on the other side of the bell for sure. Vic said, missed the dip on Nvidia. DeepSeek told me to load up. Here's that thing. A lot of people were freaking about DeepSeek. So DeepSeek has come along. And, well, yeah, they basically are almost as good or maybe equivalent to ChatGPT, but they're saying, oh, our training cost a lot less. That's interesting. So they have shown a couple things. One, they've shown that China may be further along on the AI trail than we thought. So that caused a little bit of a panic on Monday for sure. And a lot of people are like, oh my God, if they're going to be able to do it a lot cheaper, we're probably going to lose this race. But here's the thing. I'm going to give you a different perspective. DeepSeek is like a little fire underneath the butts of the American chip companies. So I bet you Nvidia is right now looking at ways to make their chips cheaper, and I'm sure that OpenAI is looking at that hard. Now, I heard another story too today somebody's wondering if China actually did all the training, or if they just stole a bunch of that training from OpenAI. So there's a lot of interesting things out there in regards to DeepSeek, but it was a one day everyone panicking. The panic's over. The market is not. We're not all. We're not all doomed. The market's not plummeting. Endlessly into a bear market right away. It's not happening at this point. We will go into a bear market, and I will tell you guys. If you're not putting away a little tiny bit of cash for that bear market, you probably might want to think about it. You might want to think about it for sure. All right, we got Mary in the house with a yes, Vic, and guys, Mary is responsible for the like button, so she'll tell you to hit that like button if you haven't done it yet. While you do, I'm gonna have some, not coffee this time. I actually ran out of cream, so I'm actually having some tea, Earl Grey, or actually Earl Grey vanilla. It's still pretty darn good. All right. Balik is in the house with a hey all. And we got a JJ. Let's see. Vic says less than 50% have hit the like button. Tell me it isn't so. Oh, no. All right. Amrit says, I'm happy how EQ Bank turned around. Yeah, I'm a big fan of EQ Bank. Let's take a look. I haven't actually looked at their stock in probably a month. It's probably been about a month since I've looked at them. All right. Well, let's see. Let's actually go EQB. There we go. EQ Bank. Here we go. All right, guys. Let's take a look here. All right. Yeah, look at this. They have recovered. They have recovered from this little bit of a mess that we had. And that was kind of expected. I think they're solid. I think they're going to be good long term. So I am a fan of EQ Bank. I actually use them as well. So let's see. What's your thoughts on Nvidia? I'm thinking goodbye still to cost average down. So yeah, I know Nvidia took a little bit of a hit, and they're still suffering right now. NVDA. There we go. It helps if I spell it correct. So today, as we saw, that they're down about 5%. All right. So yeah, I mean, if you look at it, when you're looking at it this way, it's a little choppy. Yeah, they've come down a little bit, but Nvidia, I think, is still going to be really good on the long term. Like I said, this DeepSeek thing is going to light a fire under the AI companies in the US, and you will see. It'll be interesting. I actually think we might see AI move a little bit faster because of it. Think about, if you want to really go back in the olden days, think about the space race. When the Soviets put up Sputnik and I had that first satellite, it put a fire under the US, and the US won that race. They ended up getting to the moon. And that's kind of the same thing with this AI, is that, when you're in the lead and you're comfortably in the lead, there's no incentive to, to really go full throttle. Now we've got an incentive. So let's see what happens. Let's see how this all works out. All right. Larry says, Baba is the hero for this month, 83.9 2x ETF 14.2. Nice. Amrit says, ZRE, I was hoping would be a good REIT play, but it has not done well the last 3 months. But just taking in those dividends in the meanwhile, yeah, REITs they've disappointed. I will say I'm disappointed with REITs right now. But every analyst and their dog is saying 2025 is going to be the year for real estate. So I'm still holding on. I'm still adding. And you got to keep in mind too, when you see a rate cut doesn't immediately impact a REIT. It's good for a REIT, but you need them to sort of filter through the system. Now, even the ones like we had 250 basis points to end the year, we got another 25 today. I think REITs are going to look great. Now, mind you, I'm riding them back up to the top, and then I'll probably be moving those funds to other areas at that point. But I'm still bullish on REITs overall for this year. All right, guys, we got about 20, not even 20 seconds for the bell. So, guys, if you have headphones on and you don't like loud noises, now's your time to take them off for just a couple of seconds because this bell is coming here in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Woo-hoo! All right. We have another market close. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. Larry says, I'm betting on the usual Tesla dump. Yeah, that's normal for Tesla, though. J Powell will not bow down and can't be fired. And that's true. That's true. J Powell has already said he is not going to be intimidated by Donald Trump. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Enid is in the house with a hello. Hello, Enid. Always good to see you. Larry says, Baba announced yesterday their AI is better than DeepSeek. This could be interesting. This could be very, very interesting. Now, also keep in mind too, DeepSeek, guys, DeepSeek is open source. So, anybody can use it, modify it, do all of that fun stuff with it. So it could be very interesting. Let's see. Mario is in the house with a good afternoon, everyone. Let's see. Your Dammits says, hiya, Candace. I hope it's not snowing too bad in your parts. Could you take a look at, what are your thoughts? Is AI taking over healthcare? All right. We got this up right now. Let's head over to I believe that is, what is it? Wellness or Well Health? Yeah, Well Health Technologies. Here we go. All right, here we go. Here is good old Well. Look at this. I haven't looked at Well in a while. So it's nice to see they've had a bit of a movement up. Yeah, I'm liking that. I'm liking that. Now, guys, let's just put it over here. So basically, let's see. They have a primary health clinics delivering healthcare related services. To me, that's going to be the way of healthcare in the future for sure. So that will definitely happen. Sorry, I'm laughing because I just saw Tim Smith saying I woke up his cat. So the bell, that's hilarious. But okay, let's go in here and take a look and see what's going on a bit on the back end here. Look at this. They don't have a lot of debt, 47% debt to equity ratio. I'm liking that. The return on equity, unreasonably high. When I see one this high, I take it with a grain of salt. But I still like the fact that it's in the positive, and I do like the fact that it is high. There's usually something going on that the company is doing that's kind of skewing results. So I normally like, it's not bad, but you never know. Maybe it is legit. They have exploded recently. So yeah, it is interesting. I think they're definitely something to watch. All right. And there's Tim. I woke up Tim's cat. Tim says, let's see. J Powell was fired from season 3 of Jersey Shore. Oh, boy. Let's see. Jay said, I sold my HMAX and swapped with Bank ETF as far as tech is concerned. For now, I will just hold YGOG and TELUS for time being. Okay, fair enough. Let's see. Ricardo says, good afternoon. Anyone excited about CLS earnings? Let's take a look. All right. So CLS, of course, is Celestica. All right, here we go. Yes, I mean, yeah, they've been doing fantastic. And keep in mind, I don't know when is their earnings, Ricardo? When is their earnings? I don't actually know when they are, but they're probably going to be, they're not going to include this drop in it, which was great. Let's take a look here. Let's see, Q4, 29th. There's a earnings announcement January 29th. The call is January 30th. So there we go. They're being released. Have they already been released? Well, you know what? Why am I asking these questions? All I have to do is go right over here. CLS, Celestica. Here we go. Let's pull it up. All right. Let's take a gander here. Here we go. All right. So we're still waiting on the data, but yeah, now here's this big drop they had. I wonder what went on here to cause that. That's kind of an interesting drop for sure. But we'll check. We'll check. Let's see here. We'll check here. It might we might get some earnings sooner than later. So Ricardo says you've been holding Celestica since $55. Oh, nice. That's that's not a bad profit. Let's see, as we speak, yeah, absolutely. So we're still waiting on the data for Celestica. We'll have to see how that all works out. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the trade war. So February 1st, of course, Saturday is the day that Trump is going to drop his 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico. I know as early as yesterday, the new House Speaker was asked whether or not these were still going through, and she confirmed that they were. So right now, it looks like we're going to get it. Now, the Canadian government is, of course, preparing. And guys, I should probably bring this down here for a moment. The Canadian government is planning a two-wave response. So they're going to initially start with a few items, things like Florida orange juice, Kentucky bourbon, and all of the other items that they had in the previous response to U.S. tariffs back in Trump's first term. So that's where they're going to start, and then they're going to have, I think, about a 2-week series of consultations, and then expand it from there, just to start ramping it up. Now, the interesting thing about this is that we're pretty much looking at a bit of a trade war. Now, the way Trump did it recently, if you guys were watching, he actually dropped a 25% tariff on Colombia because they were refusing some of the flights of migrants. And when he did that, they pretty much crumbled pretty quickly. So now they're accepting flights, and I think they've actually been sending their own planes as well to pick them up. But the important part of that is Trump was talking about, in that situation, he was going to do a 25 basis point, so a 25% tariff, and ramp it up pretty quickly to 50%. So that could be very interesting. So if he really wants to put the pressure on Canada, that could be, the 25 might just be the opening salvo that's in this trade war. Now, right now, it looks like it's going to be on everything. Now, here's the interesting thing, and this is something that actually kind of worries me. So the government yesterday said that they're looking at providing supports to people affected by the tariffs. So they're looking at sort of almost like, if you remember the pandemic and all of those supports that were sent out during the pandemic, they're looking at doing something similar. Now, I think they're going to be a little bit smarter this time. Like, I think you have to prove, for example, that you lost your job because of these tariffs to be able to get pretty much it's going to be something very similar to a CERB, whether it be $2,000 a month, or maybe it might be $1,600. I'm not sure. Maybe it'll even be higher. I mean, the cost of living is way, way higher now than it was then. But that's what the government is talking about doing. That scares me. And I'll tell you why. That's a lot of money printing. And we all know what happens when the government decides to print a whole bunch of money. Well, we get inflation. We get a lot of inflation. So we could run into a situation where, if the government starts doing that, the Bank of Canada, they could be raising rates sooner than we think. So that does definitely makes me a little bit cautious for sure. So I don't know what you guys are thinking, but we'll have to see how this is all going to boil down. And I think the next week could be very, very interesting for sure. All right. Larry says Tesla going for a dive. And let's see. Ricardo says, yeah, Microsoft and Tesla water slide to the downside. Tesla falling after hours. Let's take a look. Let's take a look here and see. All right. Yeah, look at this. So Tesla ended the day at 388 and they're down at 373. Oh boy. Good old Tesla. Let's see. Whirlpool missed earnings too by almost $1 billion in revenue. Okay. 0.6 billion then. All right, cool. Larry has a Tesla bear. This could be a good day for you, Larry. Let's see. How does the 25% impact the financial sector? The financial sector, they're going to be more collateral, not like a direct. So anybody, when you're looking at companies with these tariffs, if you export to the United States, you will be impacted. Now, you may not feel the impact. Like, it's not going to be like he, throws up the 25, or he he throws the 25% tariffs at us on Saturday. It's not like all of a sudden everybody's, all the money's gone. It takes time for that to filter in, because initially, let's just use an example. Let's use Acadia Timber. So Acadia Timber, they make wood products, wood, things like that. Or you could even use Fraser Timber if you wanted to. But let's just say you're a wood company. So all of a sudden, first of all, what you probably have experienced is you probably had an increase in sales right now, like up to the time the tariffs happen, because a lot of companies that use your products, they're over ordering on purpose, because they're like, okay, let's get as much of it as we can right now before we have to pay an additional 25%. So automatically, you're going to see a tiny slowdown in what's going across the border, because let's say the tariffs don't happen and they just go away. Well, a lot of your customers have already front-ended a lot of stuff, so they're not going to need as much. So there will be a slight slowdown. But once the tariffs hit and everybody starts having to pay more, there's going to be a few things. One, they're going to look at your lumber, and they might look at Joey's Lumber Shack in Maine, and maybe Joey's Lumber Shack was a little bit more expensive than that Canadian lumber, but now, because of that 25% tariff, Joey's Lumber Shack in Maine, they're looking pretty good now. So, you end up getting increased competition. Companies that wouldn't have been competition before are now competition. So that will reduce your sales. The actual 25%, though, it's not being paid by Canada. Canada's not paying a thing. It's being paid by the customers. So the Americans are paying that 25%. They're paying it to the government. But what ends up happening, and this is kind of the other side, and I think this is how Trump is sort of looking. He's looking at the back end of what happens, is because all of a sudden Joey's, lumber shack starts getting more business. That's more money going into the American economy in that way. Plus, the U.S. is keeping any of the tariffs from people who are still buying that Canadian lumber. So what ends up happening on the Canadian side is, after a little bit of time, well, your sales are starting to go down, and you're not being able to export as much. So your exports go down. So your overall cash flow goes down. And that's where things really start to hurt down the road. It doesn't happen immediately, but it does happen. So then you're left in a situation as this, as this tariff or trade war continues. Well, then you're kind of left with a situation where it's like, well, I can't really, I've lost so much of my business to the States. I got to find other customers. So that starts to open up other trade avenues. So you'll see more Canadian trade moving overseas, going to Asia, going to Europe, maybe even going to Mexico. So you have to sort of find alternative trade partners. Now, when we start to look at oil, that becomes another interesting thing, because the U.S., when they drill, they're doing fracking. So when you frack, you drill down into the shale where the oil is, and then you flush it out with water. So you end up getting a light crude. So it's not as dense. Now, the U.S. can process, a small amount of light crude. Problem is, most of their refineries are set up to process heavy crude. So they usually will import the heavy crude. Now, this is a beautiful thing for the U.S. And the reason it's a beautiful thing is the cost that they're paying for Canadian heavy crude is less than how much they're getting paid to sell that light crude. So they're selling their light crude using the Canadian heavy crude. So they're pulling down that heavy crude. Now, once you put the tariffs on, you start slapping a 25%. All of a sudden, you kind of start to upset the whole, I guess we'll call it that whole beautiful cycle that currently exists mostly between Alberta and the United States. And Alberta might get to a point where they're like, okay, we need to start sending oil overseas. We need to start selling to Asia. We need to start selling to Europe. Probably more Asia, because it's with the Trans Mountain pipeline, they can get it to the West Coast. So they have to start looking for new trading partners. Now the U.S. still needs that heavy crude, so they're sitting there, and even though they have these tariffs, they're sitting there and they're thinking to themselves, well, what are our other options? We'll have to buy it for somebody further away. Maybe we'll have to buy it from Venezuela, and I don't think they really want to buy from Venezuela. So all of a sudden, as a trade war happens, you'll start to see exceptions start to pop up. Like the U.S. will say, okay, well, we'll exempt, like they might make a deal. Like, for example, okay, we'll exempt energy or oil, if you exempt something else. And you'll start to see little things happen. I mean, the trade war can be still really, really bad, even if oil were to get an exemption. Initially, I think it will get the 25% right across the board, because I think that's kind of the expectation that Donald Trump has set. So, anyway, it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be fun to watch. I don't think anybody, quite honestly, I don't think any of us have seen anything like what's coming. So it'll be very, very interesting. All right. Andy says, let's see. Oh, yeah. So Brookfield, for example, Brookfield Corporation will have a slightly larger impact than Brookfield Asset Management, only because Brookfield Asset Management just invests in assets. Brookfield Corporation actually does have infrastructure. So they will get a little bit more. But here's an interesting thing. You mentioned BAM, and I actually want to, let's take a look here. I noticed this the other day. I was, BAM is once again, BAM's had another giant surge. So it's actually interesting. It's just like, wow, this is great. Brookfield Asset Management, it is one of my favorite stocks. So they've had another big surge. And I was just looking at that. I was looking in the 0 to 100K challenge, and I looked at them and I was like, oh my cow, they've really moved up. So yeah, that's pretty cool. All right. Ricardo says cloud computing stocks fall 2% after Microsoft missed. Yeah. We were looking at Celestia. Yeah, they haven't updated, at least not yet on TradingView, but let's just see here. Let's see. Yeah, so we got Microsoft, Meta. We also have Tesla, of course, and Tesla's dropping. Oh, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Now, boy. Nvidia, I know they normally come out a little bit, a few weeks after. So that's going to be interesting. That'll be interesting. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, we'll watch Nvidia this time. But, oh, boy. If I find that if the rest of tech falls, Nvidia can sometimes, even if they do good, they can still fall on the strength of what's going on. So, yeah, this could be fun. This could be very, very fun. Cowboy is in the house with an afternoon all. CLS earnings at 4:15. Okay. Let's see. It's easier to secure the border than do a trade war and a second CERB. Yeah, it is easier to secure the border. But here's the thing, though. I don't even think the border is Trump's his objective anymore. And I also don't think Canada becoming the 51st state is his objective. I think there's a bigger play here, just more of an economic union, I think. But we'll have to see. IBM soaring. Ooh, let's take a look at IBM. Ooh, there we go. We don't look at IBM that often. All right. IBM. Here we go. International Business Machines. All right, let's take a look here. IBM. So here we go. Here's IBM. Let's see here. Where are they at? Oh, yeah, look, I had to really scroll. Holy banana bread. IBM up here at 249. They closed at 228. So yeah, they're having a good one. Do I actually have the data here yet? No, it hasn't updated yet. My data, but yeah, IBM absolutely exploding. That's pretty darn cool. All right. Yeah, they beat revenue and earnings per share. Jonathan, you're late. What's going on? Do you have a slip? Do you have a slip from home to say why you're late? AA says exporting to Asia where? Trudeau already ruined relationships with India and China, the biggest oil consumers. Yeah. Oh, I will be so happy when Trudeau is no longer in the picture. Um, I'm very, very much looking forward to, as you guys know, I have a Trudeau beaver. I'm looking forward to retiring that one. Very much so. Let's see. Any thoughts on CIB? I started a position on January 14th at $30. I wish I could have gotten more since it's $39 now. Let's take a look at CIB. Let's take a gander here. All right. All right. So let's see. Ban Colombia. All right. Let's take a gander. I don't know a lot about them, but oh, look at this. That's a nice looking movement. All right. Oh, this is really interesting. So something happened here. Let's see. When was the date on that? Yeah, early January. Now they have earnings coming up on February 18th, but that is very, very interesting here. Oh, look at this. I like that EPS. That's a big dividend. They've got an 8.32%. Yeah, that's very interesting. Let's take a gander in here. All right, I got no data. No data at all. That's fine. That's fine. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't. Let's come back here. Let's see. They are a financial services company, conglomerate of financial institutions. Okay, interesting. Yeah, no, they certainly are. They certainly have been doing well. Of course, when I see something like this that's completely out of the ordinary, there's got to be some kind of a news driver that's caused that to happen. And I'm just taking them down here. Let's see. Whoa, what did that? Okay, let's see. Pacific Ruble Energy announces closing. Yeah, it's not really giving me too much here, but I would want to find out why that happened and make sure it's not some kind of an aberration before I would jump in. Like, because sometimes you'll get a company that will have something like this that spikes, and then I'm always concerned if it comes right back down. That's why I would look into that to find out what it is. But without knowing what caused this, I would actually, and I hate saying this, I would be a little leery. But I mean, that's fantastic, but I'm still a little leery. Because I've seen that happen way too many times that you get this giant jump and then, you're back down again. But, if this is something positive and it does come back down, that might be an entry point down there. But yeah, I think it's interesting. I definitely think it's interesting. AA says economic union and common currency would be very interesting. Yeah, I think it would be. It'd be very similar to the European Union, but for North America. And that's been an idea. And you know what? This is not even it's not even a new idea. It's been floated for a long time. Nobody's ever really taking it too seriously. But I do know that Kevin O'Leary's been talking a lot to Trump about it, and that could be what he wants for his legacy. We'll have to see how that goes. The nice thing about that is it wouldn't be a threat to our sovereignty. And we'd be able to keep our health care and all of the things that make us distinctively Canadian. But the nice thing about that is it makes it easier. Like if you have a skill set that's that's in need in the United States, it makes it much easier for you to go there and work. That's always the good thing about that. All right, let's see. One aspect that Canadians could do is do the arbitrage of natural gas that the U.S. is doing, where it costs us $2 per pound of natural gas and $2 freight to send it to Europe just to sell it for $8. Yeah, that's the thing. I think we need to open up a lot more discussion on what we can do and maybe expand things a lot more. to different parts of the world. Yeah. Oh, CIB is Bank of Colombia. Oh, am I not? I'm at Ban Colombia SA. I think I'm at the right place. But let's see here. Let's see. I believe the reason to the drop is because how the dollar has been dropping and global currencies are rising. They have ownership in Guatemala, El Salvador, and the biggest bank in Colombia. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, like I said, once again with this, I just want to know what's going on, because if I don't understand why something is moving, I'm much less likely to put money on it. I need to understand what's happening, because then I know what realistically could happen, both good and bad, and then that means I have a more realistic plan on when things do go bad. Let's see. Ian says, I just got here. What did I miss? You missed the bell. You missed the bell. You missed the market. Yeah, I think that's about it. Cowboy, we have too much debt without taking on the Americans' debt too. Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, it's interesting. And this is the thing. One of the interviews with Kevin O'Leary is saying that, if that's what the U.S. wants, this economic union, that puts Canada in a position of, I don't want to say power, but yeah, in a way power, because then you're in a situation where you can say, okay, sure. If we're going to do it, part of the deal is Canadians get to exchange their Canadian dollar on a 1-for-1. You could put that as part of your conditioning. So that wouldn't be a bad thing. I mean, that all of our money would be worth more in a situation like that. But yeah, I mean, you have to look at the debt. And when you start to do something like that, because you have a common currency, it's like the Fed would be controlling it all. And we would have a couple of members from like the Bank of Canada down there as well. So that could be interesting. Let's see. Why is Tesla tanking pre-earnings? Should we expect worse? I'm thinking you probably should expect worse. Yeah, I have a feeling that their earnings aren't going to be super great, and I know, I know, I know Larry has been short. I don't want to say shorting, but has been investing in some bear ETFs for Tesla for this very reason. So, yeah, and Bill's mentioning it right here. Yeah, they missed. So yeah, pre-earnings. It isn't pre-earnings. They missed their earnings. We kind of knew that was going to happen. So that'll be interesting. And also keep in mind, there have been things in the news lately that have impacted Tesla a little bit. Something to do with Elon Musk doing some interesting things. I'll just leave it at that. AA saying exactly 1-to-1 trophy, yellow, smiling. Oh, that's probably an emoji. So I'm like, what's AA saying? Trophy, yellow, smiling. But now we got it. All right. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if we actually have the Tesla data yet, but let's take a gander here and see. No, I'm still sitting here with the estimates. I will refresh this though, because yeah, we'll leave the page. We'll refresh, because sometimes TradingView, you have to refresh it. All right. Oops. There we go, guys. All right, we'll bring this all out again. Let's get back to Tesla. Not this time. It's still not giving us much data here, but let's pull this up. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Tesla falls as Q4 profit misses estimates. Let's see here. Let's just see if news did not load. Okay, great. Let's try that one more time. Yeah. All right. We're having some fun with the news. All right. And now Tesla's now rallying. Is Tesla? Oops, let's pull it back up here. Now here's Tesla. Tesla's now, yeah, look at this. Tesla's now doing better. So sometimes I have seen times where Tesla has missed earnings, but investors really loved what was said in the actual call. So sometimes that might be what's going on. I don't know. I honestly don't know, but hey, why not? Yeah, exactly. In the time in the time I took to type that, Tesla shot back up. All right, we got ourselves a super sticker from Mary. So that means we made it to 16 on the fuse, and that also means that that Mary's the goat. Mary has taken our goat role, so yay! We're also 3 supers away from a Friday show, so that's not too shabby either. All right. Ricardo says Tesla definitely has spirit animals, crackhead traders. Oh boy. Let's see. Tesla recently increased price in Canada, which is not the case for USA. Their sales may go down in Canada. Probably. Um, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I think, ah, and this is the thing. I guess Elon is always saying that Tesla is not even a car company; that they're an AI company. They may want to get another product out soon if the if they can't if they can't do anything. Let's see. That's such a cute goat gif. It's actually an AI video of sorts. Sora. I got Sora to make that. So there's that one. There's another one. I got 2. I think I have 2 goats. I need to come up with a third one, but yeah, we do that. We do that nonetheless. So what can I say? Is Nvidia a buy this dip or no hope? I think no. I think Nvidia is a fantastic company. If anything, I mean, I'm bullish. Like I'm bullish on Nvidia long term. I think they're going to do fantastic. I know a lot of people right now. You got this whole, DeepSeek, and it's scared people. But I wouldn't count Nvidia out at all. Nvidia is a really good company. They're going to, you know, if anything, this is going to light the fire under them to get to do more. So I think it will be good. Okay, so yeah, buy the dip. I mean, that question, of course, is up to you, but I would say that even a couple of years from now, you look at where Nvidia is then compared to now. I think it'll be a no brainer from that point of view. Let's see. Tesla is definitely not a car company. They are a data company. Yeah, yeah, and in many ways for sure. Once the whole world is mapped, they will show the driverless car mapping. All right. Let's see. CLS beat. All right. Let's see what's happening with CLS in the after hours here. Oh, sorry. I was going to say in the after hours, but I'm like, yeah, CLS is a Canadian company. So, whoops. Yeah. All right. Well, I don't have any data on them, but we'll have to see tomorrow where this is going. Let's see. Reports Q4 adjusted EPS 1.11 versus let's just pull this up here and see if I can get, yeah, it's not giving me much data. It's giving me a headline, but not bad, not bad. Let's see. 34.22 trillion is the American national debt according to Google. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly where it's at. What is the Canadian debt in USD? Anybody know? I don't know off the top of my head. Something makes me. I thought it was like 17 trillion or somewhere's in that vicinity, but I haven't really looked at it in a while. JJ says, if anything, Deep Geek or DeepSeek technology will literally get adopted by the big tech in the US since it's open source. Just makes them stronger. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And like I said, I heard that rumor that was floating in the news that they may have stolen some data from OpenAI. That could be very interesting. But like I said, I saw a headline and I didn't actually have the chance to get in there. Today was a big editing day. I was the EBIT video. I was doing hopefully the final edit on that, sent that back off to Evolve. And then of course, we have the members choice video, which is Friday. They voted on a deep dive on CNQ. So I finished that up today as well. So that will be dropping. Actually, if you're a channel member, you can see that tomorrow. So that's kind of cool. Very, very cool. All right. Let's just see here. All right. Oh, one thing I wanted to bring up as well. So we're changing the system. I know last year we did, we used to drop like 10 free memberships on the first Sunday during this week. So starting with Sunday's thing, what we're going to do is we're going to do more of we're going to sort of drop them out here and there throughout the month. So I will do one right now just to sort of show. So any of you guys, if you do see this, as long as you don't have a little box underneath of it that says, what does it say? You need to click here if you want to enable channel memberships. So you want to do that. So I will be dropping these every, I'll just pepper them out throughout the month. That way there, it's not like everybody, like they're all given out right away. This way here, there's a little bit of excitement every time. That's always kind of fun. All right. Now, let's see. Your Dammit says, I haven't really heard your opinion on Shopify. Are they as overvalued as it seems? Shopify is interesting. Let's bring up Shopify for a moment. Okay. Whoops. Where am I? Oh, I'm not even in the right browser. There we go. All right. Shopify. All right. Here we go. And I'm going to let's bring up their, so they have been doing a lot better. I want to bring up the 5 year. Okay. They have done a lot better since this. And keep in mind, this is the bull market. The bear market. They had a really rough bear market for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons as well is they were competing against Amazon for the longest time, but they have somewhere's in here, I don't know the exact date, but they have actually come to a deal, and they're now working in conjunction with Amazon. So that's a huge thing for Shopify. And this here seems to me to be, I don't see them as really being super overvalued. Some people might look at it and you might say, yeah, they're a little overvalued, but I think they're at where they should be. Not so much overvalued, not so much undervalued. I think this area in here, because I mean, look over here. This is a good strong support in that area. So 135 up to about 160, 170. I think that you're going to see them get to a point that they're going to basically be oscillating in that area for a while. But as depending on how long this bull market continues, and also depending on what happens with these tariffs, because keep in mind, Shopify could get impacted by tariffs, not directly, but as collateral damage, because obviously Shopify is not exporting stuff to the US, but a lot of their customers are. So that is one area where they could lose as kind of a collateral to some of their customers being impacted by tariffs. But I think they're pretty much where I think they should be right now. So I wouldn't say overvalued. I wouldn't say undervalued. I'd say they're pretty much where I think they should be. All right. CLS 105. Nice. All right. Ian says, seems like companies are rushing out AI features that don't work or are useless. Eventually AI will do something, but right now I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there has been a lot of I don't want to say misfires, but yeah, a lot of companies are just like, we have to have AI because our competitors do, and they rush it out before they have it working correctly. Sort of like I don't know, Apple Intelligence. I don't think Apple Intelligence is doing what it should be. I don't use it. I just use ChatGPT because that does do everything I need it to do. So I think if you don't know how to use AI, it's probably useless. If you do know how to use it, you can get a lot out of it. And it also depends on what it is that you're trying to get out of it, right? Like for me, I can get my images made nice and easily. That saves me a lot of time. And I can also, sometimes I can get some crazy ideas. Like I wanted a picture of Donald Trump wearing a 25% hat for the, for this video, for the thumbnail. And, I was able to get it pretty relatively fast. That I would not have been able to do that. Even a couple of years ago, I could have thought in my head, oh, that would be funny. And what I would have had to have done is I would have had to have used Photoshop. I would have had to have gotten Donald Trump a picture. Then I would have had to have designed the hat. And then I would have had to have, moved it into his hat, played with a bunch of cloning tools and things like that to make it look like what I want. So it would probably have taken me, to get a half decent looking one, 30 minutes, this one, it took me, well, I just typed the prompt. AI did it in seconds. So AI really can transform things, but you have to know what you're doing with it. And, you have to have realistic expectations as well. Let's see. Do you think DeepSeek might be a way for China to fight back U.S. threat? And there is not much substance to it. After all, China used to do shady stuff. It's interesting. I mean, I would, we were worried about TikTok. We were worried about TikTok and, whether China was using it to spy. Now, to me, that would have been the first thing that would have popped up in my head when I thought about this, about DeepSeek, is that, okay, could this be something they're using? Other than the fact that it's open source makes me feel a little bit more that it's probably not. But yeah, you never know. There could be some very sophisticated code in there that, that maybe nobody has found. But yeah. All right. JJ says, if they did take from OpenAI, not surprised. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised either. And then it would be funny. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, you can train an AI a lot cheaper if you just steal somebody else's library. It's like, okay, yeah, there we go. It could be. Larry says, next year, Toyota is going to wipe the floor with Tesla with their EV releases. They already sell more hybrids than Tesla sells EVs. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? It's a good thing Tesla has other things in their hat because, maybe Toyota is going to be the big one in the end. I mean, it's hard to say. Ricardo says, I remember one shop talk of the biggest manufacturers in 2018 where the Toyota representative stated that EV was useless and hybrid was the way to go because they can build 10 hybrids with the same resources. Let's see. And one EV does making hybrid the thing of the future. I think, we will have electric. I think electric cars are going to be the way of the future. I don't know about hybrid. I mean, hybrid maybe, but I mean, the thing is, like, we're not there yet. Like, we still got a lot of oil. We still got a lot of that we can use. And I think right now, pretty much any chances of going green are probably gone for the next 4 years. But I do think that we can use energy very, very cheaply, and as we get more and more into more free, I don't want to say free energy, but into much cheaper energy, because technically, like solar, that's technically free energy. Because we're not paying anything for that energy. It's falling on us naturally. We just, we pay to utilize it. And then of course, the power grids will absolutely mark that up. But eventually we should get to a point where, energy is so cheap, it's not even a concern. And that would be through, massive solar, geothermal, nuclear. And once we can really knack down on fusion, there's another thing right there. So that could be very, very interesting. Let's see. Meta is killing it. High hopes after earnings. Oh, really? Let's take a look. Do I have Meta here yet? I don't. Because I clean them out every so often. I clean it out because I get so many companies. And I recently did a clean out. All right, here we go. Let's take a look and see how Meta's doing. Here we go. All right, well, they're not that far up. Like right now, they are, they're now down 671, 670. Yeah, interesting. So Meta is coming down. Let's take a look at Tesla again. Tesla still up 402. I'm feeling Larry's pain here. I'm very, because Larry's in a bear ETF right now, so it's losing. It'll, if it maintains this. Now, guys, there's a lot of time between today and tomorrow, so you never know. But right now, Tesla is doing good. Do I have? I don't know what Nvidia is doing in the after hours. Actually, Nvidia is up a little bit, up 125.77. So there we go. Not too shabby. I don't have Microsoft. Let's add Microsoft. I'm kind of curious now. MSFT, here we go. Microsoft, bang, boom. All right. What's Microsoft doing? Oh, Microsoft's down. They're down at 437.50. So they have come down a little bit. All right. Interesting. Just a second, Larry. I did notice that we actually do have the earnings here for Microsoft, and you can sort of see. They beat so 3.1 to 3.2. So up 3.89% on earnings. Revenue was up 1.11%. So they did beat. So that's not too shabby, but they are down a little bit. So once again, there could be something in there, like maybe there's other factors going on in that report, and I haven't seen the report, so I can't really guess. But all right, Larry says yes, hybrid is certainly superior. However, Toyota's EV battery is made from sulfur, runs 600 miles on 5-minute charge, so it's going to be superior. Every brand is looking to adopt the Toyota battery, so that's not too shabby. 5-minute charge, 600 miles. Holy banana bread, that's good. That's definitely good. Let's see. JJ says Magnificent Seven will always be strong. Yeah, I think they're a safe bet. They're definitely a safe bet. Let's see. Elon will do his classic rug pull by saying something dumb. Yeah. It's one of those things. And Chad's in the house. Tesla earnings come out yet? Yes. They missed earnings, Chad. They missed earnings. So Tesla, once again, although, like I said, they were actually up, even though they missed. I still don't have those yet, but right now they're sitting up at 401. So Tesla looking pretty strong. Well, not pretty strong. They're looking strongish. But the big one was IBM. Look at this, guys. IBM. I got to scroll all the way up here, up at the moon. Over here at the moon, they're at 246 when they closed down here at 228. So in after hours, they're taking a moonshot. That's IBM. And I do have their earnings now. Look at this. Oh boy, this is fun. Look, they beat by 3.81%, but they actually missed. They just missed on the revenue a tiny bit. But nonetheless, here we go, all the way up here. Moonshot, a moonshot for IBM. I hope they like astronaut food. They're having Tang in a squeezable tube, a tube of Tang. There we go. Let's see, figures. Good spot in government for Elon. Talks the talk, no action. Oh, good old Elon. What can I say? All right, this is all fantastic. I love earnings. I do love earnings. It's always fun. And let's see Meta once again here. How are they doing? Oh, they're up. They're up now. 690. So that's fantastic. We still don't have their earnings, but oh well. What can I say? Did we finally get the CLS ones? No, they haven't come through yet on here, but yeah, not too shabby. All right, guys. I'll throw out the call for your last minute questions. Doesn't mean we're leaving right away. It just means get some questions in here. Sometimes we're here a good hour after the last minutes. We probably won't be today, but you never know. All right. And guys, we're at that point. We did have one super today, knocked the bomb ticker up to 16. But as of right now, if we don't get three more supers in before the end, then there's no more chance for that fuse to go off. And Sunday we'll be back down to zero again, and we'll try for February. February is a short month, but you never know. I'm gonna have a sip of tea here. Oh, so good, so good. But yeah, it'll definitely be very interesting. I am looking forward to seeing how February runs out. Well, February, I mean, we start off with tariffs. In Ontario, we got we got a provincial election to see if Dougie can get himself a larger majority. That's what he's looking for. What else do we have happening in February? Well, we also have the whole liberal leadership thing going on. So maybe we'll finally know who our new prime minister is, and then we'll get him voted out with a vote of non-confidence sooner than later. Unless the government does something sneaky and uses the tariffs and a trade war, as a way to prevent some of these votes of non-confidence. But I can't see them doing that. The writing's on the wall. Just let's just get an election. Let's get an election. We'll move forward. Let's see. Chat says any one NDA back when it was 38 cents. Now that's a moonshot. Yes, Neptune Digital Assets. I mean, this is kind of cool. All right, let's go over there for a second. All right. NDA, Neptune Digital Assets. All right, and yeah, you can sort of see here. Just going to do the 1 year. They've had a they've had a fantastic run. Look at this, 278. Now, basically with the crypto bull market has been very good on them. Now, another nice thing about Neptune Digital Assets is, if I remember correctly, I think they have very little debt, not data. Let's take a look here. I thought it was like nothing. Yeah, right here. Yeah, nothing. So that's a really good thing for them. So I think NDA is probably going to go up a bit more because I don't think we've seen the end of this bull market. I know another one as well, HODL. So this is Soul Strategies. They've been kind of doing a similar thing, but in their case, let's go to the 1 year. After they had their big run up, they have retracted a little bit. They're down to 5.1. But that's what happens after you have a big run up like this. A retraction like this is completely normal. So, we were talking earlier about one of these as well. So that's with that ban Colombia. So yeah, that's not abnormal. And I think they will also do okay as we move to, like, I think Bitcoin. Like, this is kind of the guess. Like, I know my initial going into back in 2024, I was thinking 120 would be the top that we could possibly make in this bull run. I have revised that to 130. I don't think we're going above 130. There are a lot of people. There are a lot of pro crypto people on the internet who will probably tell you that we're going to 200. We're going to 250. I'm thinking 130 before we go into a crypto winter. It's not going to be. It will not be. I don't think it'll be as bad as the previous crypto winters. Like, the last crypto winter, we went from like 60,000 down to 20,000. I think after we've peaked at 130, going into a crypto winter, we may even only go down as low as 80. Maybe even 90. It's hard to say. But I think there's so much more. There's so much more volume into crypto that I just don't think we can go down really, really low. Like, we will 100% not go back down to 20 again. That's a thing of the past. But it'll be interesting. It will be interesting for sure. And Chad saying bye. Absolutely, absolutely. All right. All right, guys. I got nothing more to say. I got nothing more to say. Other than I could go off and tell you guys a bunch of stories, but it's fine. I think this is a good place to end the month. We didn't get the bomb this month, so no da bomb. But it'll be here next month. Maybe next month we'll be having a teaspoon of da bomb straight. Oh boy. And that will be Jonathan says, can we get a tariff live stream? What do you mean by a Saturday live stream when the tariffs happen? Well, we'll have Sunday. Sunday will be kind of like a tariff live stream because that'll be a big piece of topic on that live stream. All right. Let's see. Amrit says, what's Bitcoin right now again? Oh, Bitcoin. Let's go over there. Here we go. 103,891 USD. So, yeah, it's doing pretty good. It's still up above 100,000. I'm always happy seeing it above 100,000 nowadays. Terry says, Frank Bayless is running for liberal leadership. I think he has strong classical mid-right of center economic principles, but have not heard much. No, I know. I heard his name, but I think at this point, it's almost kind of I don't think anybody's going to beat Carney. I think he's just got way too much support in the party. So I think, we will get to hear Polyev, use his phrase carbon tax Carney again and again. So yeah, I think Carney's probably going to win. Ricardo says, have a great afternoon, everyone. Cheers. Are we shorting the Canadian dollar? Oh boy. Well, I'll tell you. Actually, I'm surprised right now the Canadian dollar is sitting at 69 cents. So we had a 25 basis point rate cut today. So we're getting further and further out of step with the US where they paused. Now, I do think you're not going to see. I have a feeling that the next rate decision on the Bank of Canada might very well be a pause. But we are quite a ways out of sync with the US rate. And there is a buffer. There's a buffer. We can go a certain amount outside of that rate. But I think that we're getting to that point where it could very well start to impact us. But at this point right now, honestly, I think the tariffs are going to impact things worse. And then those tariffs will might get our interest rate back up because tariffing those tariffs will probably result in some some inflation. That's never good. Oh, look at this. We got a last second super chat in here from Funny Books. So now we have a new goat. So Funny Books is the new goat, and that also means that we made it to 17 on our fuse. Gotta love it. All right, let's take a look here. And we have another super sticker for Funny Books. All right, let's take a look here. That puts our fuse at 18. Our fuse is now sitting at 18, and Funny Books once again, Funny Books is the goat. So I should use the other goat one this time. Here we go. We got both goat emojis. So that's kind of cool. That was kind of cool. And that also puts us one super away from a Friday show. So if somebody wants to drop, there we go. There we go. All right. So now we have a Friday show, guys. We will be back here on Friday. So there we go. Let's take a look here. That, once again, you're the goat one more time. I had to remember which goat I was on. That puts the bomb at 19. So that means we still have, guys. Well, now that we have Friday, we have one more show to see if we can hit the bomb. Maybe we're going to hit it sooner than I think. All right, here comes the bomb. Another super chat from Funny Books, or sorry, Super Sticker. All right, that takes the bomb to 20. And all right. Oh, yes, we'll go with this goat this time. I definitely need a third goat. I need a third goat. Fantastic. Jonathan is saying, thank you, Funny Books. Yeah, absolutely. That's always great. Terry says, hoorah. And Funny Books is in with another super sticker. I think I see where this is going. I think I see where this is going. That takes our fuse to 21. 21. Holy banana book. Banana books. I was going to say banana books. Holy banana bread. Yeah, absolutely. That is interesting. All right, we got that. All right. There we go. Funny Books is on fire. All right. Oh. We have another one. Here we go. That takes us up to 22. And once again, here we go. Another goat. All right. When is the next 0 to 100 video? First video, actually, Tuesday. Tuesday will be the 0 to 100K because that is our first of the month. So yeah. All right. The bomb about to drop. Maybe. Oh no. Funny Books again. Here we go. I think we're on this one. I think we're on this goat. Oh boy. All right. That puts our fuse at 23. Our fuse is at 23. I almost feel like I should be shaking this right now. I feel like I should be shaking this. So, oh boy. We could I could be in for a hot night for sure. Whew. All right. Unless you're holding out for Friday. Now that we do have a show on Friday. Hopefully on Friday we got a better idea on if. All right. We're now up at 24. We're at that second where anytime you watch TV, that's where they stop the fuse in the nick of time. But yeah, we are one away from an interesting experience. One away. Oh boy. I really am starting to shake now because I see a pattern here, Funny Books. I see a pattern. I got my spoon here as well. I got my spoon. Oh God. I'm already starting to feel it. So we're going to have to see. It's like, oh yeah. Oh, I can hear it. I can hear it moving around inside the bottle. I can hear it moving around. All right, Max, welcome. Welcome to the show, Max. We are one super away from the bomb. So that's going to be interesting. And Bill says, Friday stream announced only to be canceled for medical reasons a few minutes later. Haha, the anticipation. Oh, yes, there is anticipation for sure. Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, I'm going to give you guys I'll give you guys a couple of minutes, for sure. I mean, and obviously, if we do hit the fuse, I'm not going to just hit it and go, and disappear. You guys need to see the suffering. Yeah, that's fun. Or, I have a feeling if we don't do it today, it will happen on Friday, and that will be absolutely insane. So what can I say? I think right now, Funny Books is lifting up coach cushions, saying, okay, do I have some change here to pull that last fuse? But yeah, it's kind of fun. Let's make Friday great again. FGA. Yeah, Friday great. Yeah, we need another word. Friday stream great again. FSGA. There we go. Yeah, we'll have a fun stream on Friday. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, no, this has been a pretty good week. Other than, crazy news all the time, but that's part of the norm. That's part of the norm nowadays. What can I say? I'm gonna have a little bit of tea here. Ooh, that tastes so much better. That tastes so much better than the bomb. That's for sure. All right. All right, guys, if you're gonna do it now. Otherwise, we're gonna hold off till Friday. And Friday, one of you can nail that fuse to the ground, and oh boy. Here's what I would recommend, guys. Absolutely. Do it early. Do it early so you can watch me, suffer through the bell with my mouth on fire. That would be kind of cool. But all right, I'm anticipating it for Friday. All right, guys. So this has been a fantastic stream. And oh my God, massively huge shout out to Funny Books, who has put us within striking distance of the bomb. So that'll be exploding, folks, on Friday. And now the CIA is listening to us because I think I just said a couple of keywords. But I will be back on Friday. We will have a fantastic stream. And I have a feeling I will be eating the bomb. So until then, guys, have a fantastic night. Have a fantastic tomorrow. And mark Friday in as a do not miss stream because I will be having the bomb. I have no doubt about it. All right. Until Friday, take care, everybody. I will see you then. Bye, everybody.